All right, well, that was a real humbling experience, wasn't it? After having a record-setting 24 threes on that same Friday, everybody playing well, everybody playing at full force. We didn't have to play the starters that many minutes. The bench came in and did a good job, this, that, and the third. Then, against the same team on our home court, played like the way we did yesterday. Only losing by 6 points, though. To me, that's tremendous because it felt like we should have lost by a lot more against this team. But we only lost by 6 points. Humbling. That's the only word I can use for this game. Very, very humbling because you got to be real. After 2 games, we were feeling ourselves.
The New York Knicks run New York City! Bing bong!
And like Clyde was saying over and over in the broadcast, if we had won this game, this would have been the first time we were 3-0 in quite some time. And you know what? Basketball God said the Knicks aren't ready for that. And after that game that we saw, yeah, we got some work to do. It's time to be humble and time to understand that we can't take any team lightly, especially in a home game. Is this a result of what the Knicks are going to be all season? Are we overreacting? What are the thoughts? Let's talk about in this video. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? Your boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Go follow your boy over on Twitch. It's a whole other vibe. We're streaming again tonight. And also make sure you join the Discord where all the conversations continue after the video, in between the videos, and all of the above. Go join the Discord. Conversations are lit over there. All right, let's get into this video. So basically with this game, everything that's been going right for us all season decided to not go well for us in this one game alone. I mean, from the starting 5 looking aggressive, playing well together, this game it didn't look like that so much. Yes, Julius Randle had 30 points. He did get to the free throw line 14 times, but he only went 8 for 24 from the field. I love the 16 rebounds from Julius, but a stat that was doing so well for Julius Randle this entire season so far was his assists, and he was only down to 3 assists. And in this game, more than any other game, it felt like he only had 3 assists because the ball movement was very spotty in this game, and that's probably one of the first things I'm looking at. And again, realize one thing before I go into anything I say about this video. I understand that it is early in the season. This is only game 3. I'm not jumping out the window about anything. This is not a sign of what the Knicks are gonna be this season. This is not a sign of the Knicks maybe aren't that great. This happens a lot every year. The first 20 games are an extended preseason. It is for teams to understand each other, for chemistry to come together, for the team to understand what their identity is. Happens in the first 20 games of every season. I've said this on Coast to Coast. I've said that here. So understand one thing. When I talk about and elaborate on certain things in this game, don't take that as me jumping ship and saying that this player is this player is that. I'm talking about for this game strictly. And when I talk about Julius Randle not moving the ball in this game and looking a little too selfish for my liking, that is for this game and this game only, because you can't say that about the other few games, because Julius Randle has damn near been looking like he's averaging in a triple-double. This game looks like Julius Randle is trying to make sure that his stats stay where they're supposed to be while the rest of the team suffered. I mean, for Julius Randle to have 30 points, and mind you, Evan Fournier going 3 for 11 doesn't help. His shot did not go in. With Kemba Walker, I mean, he was 50% from the field, but there was only so much we were going to get from Kemba Walker. He's still trying to get his legs together. But the main person I'm looking at is RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, yet again, in the first half of this game, looks like he was just out there going with the flow. It was not a part of the offense. Part of that is on RJ Barrett, but the other part of that needs to be with the ball movement on this team. And it looked like that was non-existent for this squad. My favorite stat in that last game against the Magic was the assist stat. We had 34 assists as a team. This game, we only had 20. That was the biggest part of this game that changed. The assists go down, production goes down. Obi Toppin, who's been playing tremendously in the first 2 games, did not look so much like the Obi Toppin we've been seeing. Only 12 minutes of play, 1 for 4 from the field, and only 2 points. But like I said, 20 assists. Obi Toppin is a guy that plays with energy and plays off of assists. 20 assists in this game. Remember that number, 20. The only person that I really thought provided us any kind of anything throughout this entire game is none other than Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, I mean, mind you, yes, his assists were down compared to how he looked in the last few games, but when you have a team where nobody else is scoring at all, Derrick Rose needed to do what Derrick Rose needed to do, 23 points off the bench. And then outside of that, no one else scored. Taj Gibson came back for the first game, played 12 minutes, 0 points. Emmanuel quickly played 12 minutes, 0 points. And like I said, we weren't getting too much from our starters at all. Mitchell Robinson wasn't being fed the same way. We weren't looking at Mitchell Robinson around the rim, so we only had 10 points, but he was 4 for 5 from the field. Does Mitchell Robinson need to find a way to find his own shot? Sure. But what was working for us in the last few games was feeding Mitchell Robinson or him scoring off offensive rebounds, which is what he did in this game again. So to me, I think the only problem and issue with this game that was different from the first two games was the ball movement. 27 assists in that game against the Celtics, and then 34 assists in that game against the Magic on Friday. 20 assists in this game right here, and that's a barely 20. I think a lot of those came at the end of the game, but for the most part in that game, realistically, it was probably about 15-17 assists for the game. If we're talking about identities, our identities, to me, if we're going to play fast, we're going to shoot the ball, our identity has to be ball movement, and our identity has to be what got us to where we are and the name that we're building right now for the New York Knicks this year, and what we did so well last year is defense. Our defense yesterday was atrocious. Now, I understand there's going to be a drop off in defense slightly when you lose some personnel that are tremendous defenders. Nerlens Noel still not in the rotation, still trying to figure out what we're going to do with our Reggie Bullock's perimeter defense, even though RJ Barrett's been doing a solid job defensively on the perimeter. But those kind of things, personnel-wise, we're still trying to figure out. And then on top of that, we're still trying to figure out the defense for guys who are not normally defenders. We saw great defense out of Evan Fournier in the first few games, but in this game yesterday, wasn't the same story. Kemba Walker still getting lost a few times on defense. Size, knees, whatever the case may be, it's a situation that we're talking about. Obi Toppin improving his defense. There's a lot of things you could point on it individually, but the point of the matter is the team defense from this team, especially in that last game against this team that should have been a victory at home. It was a gimme trap game nonetheless. The defense was very, very, very tough to watch. A lot of times being missed, a lot of open shots being given away, especially in crunch time. I don't know if that has to do with the stamina of the players. I don't know what the case may be, but the defense, you could tell, took a little bit of a drop off in yesterday's game. Again, these are just early season things to look at right now. I'm not jumping out the window. We're 2-1. That's still a great record. It sucks that we lost this trap game against a team like the Magic, but it's no hair off my back because I still believe in the New York Knicks product. I think the New York Knicks are more that team that you saw against the Celtics than this game that you saw against the Magic. So I'm not worried about it, but there are things that need to be pointed out. And one of those, the two main things that I believe are going to be ultimately be the identity of this team are ball movement / pace and defense. And both of those things lacked in this game against Orlando. We were playing down to our competition. They were in the driver's seat for the majority of the game. Cole Anthony went off. He was tearing us up and we had no answer for it, and the others were doing what they're supposed to do. That starting five had a solid stat line, and then not to mention the guy who always kills us every time we play them, Terrence Ross, went off for a great night yet again. He was non-existent on Friday, but you knew that was not going to happen 2 nights in a row. I knew it. Y'all probably knew it. The Knicks need to know it too. 22 points only off of 11 shots, and also getting to the free throw line 9 times, making 8 of his 9 free throws. So a lot of those things will be tuned up. I'm sure practice today is going to be hell. I'm sure the film room session is going to be hell. It's definitely one of those games that you did not want to lose, especially going into tomorrow where we're going to be playing Philly, and then Thursday where we're going to be playing the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls are 3-0 right now, playing very inspired basketball, playing fast pace. They're having a good time right now. And the Philadelphia 76ers, mind you, they have a lot of things to deal with, but for the most part, they're still the Philadelphia 76ers with the guys that are on that team. You can make excuses and say they're not this, they're not that. Point of the matter is they still have all-star Joel Embiid on that team. They still have an assortment of great players on that team. Seth Curry can go out there and get a bucket whenever he needs one. Tobias Harris, who's been playing solid for the beginning of the season. They're lengthy defense. There's a lot of things that we still need to worry about. So if we're going to show up the way we did against the Magic on Sunday, on Tuesday against this Philadelphia 76ers team, we're in trouble. But if we go out there and play like we did last Wednesday against the Boston Celtics, which is who I ultimately believe this team is going to be all season long, then we should be fine. Point of the matter is the focus needs to be on defense and moving the ball. Julius Randle is going to get his buckets. I understand that, and I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I'm not going to jump off the ledge like a lot of you guys and point finger and Julius Randle this, that, and the third. Julius Randle We needed the buckets. We needed the points. Julius Randle was there. But at some time, we need to understand when we're forcing and chucking up shots. And it felt like for the first time in 3 games, we were finally chucking up threes rather than getting the right shot at the right time in the offense. A lot of those things need to be cleaned up. I'm sure the Knicks know that. They've been talking about it. They shouldn't be worried. But in another instance, we need to understand the assignment. We're 2-1 now. Let's get back on track and win this game. My key problems with this game was the transition and ball movement and our defense. What's yours? Are you pointing fingers at players? Are you jumping off the ledge thinking that the Knicks we might have gone way ahead of ourselves and the Knicks are not as great as we might think we are? A lot of things to discuss. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But it's been your boy CK. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Don't forget, like I said, subscribe over to Coast, where we have a new episode coming out tonight. Be there and be a part of the conversation. I'll see you guys next one. Follow me over on Twitch. You know the vibes. And join the Discord. Blah, blah, blah. See you guys next one. We out of here. Let's get it. Knicks back tomorrow. Philadelphia. It's going to be a fun week. We got Philly and we got Chicago. 2 fun games. Let's see how that goes for our Knicks. All right. See you guys tomorrow. I'm out of here.
Cold pizza Tuesday. I got food up in the fridge. Y'all keep looking for that new wave. I think I like it how it is.